This will be a real short video to go through how to make a prototype, what it is, and how you can use it to get better data in relation to supporting whether your solution solves the problem that you're trying to solve. So the goal of a prototype is to create essentially what's called the minimal viable product. And what that is whatever idea you have in your mind of what the solution is, creating something small and minimally to show people what it looks like, okay? So that the people can interact with it and can give you feedback about what your idea is. Now, when it comes to a prototype, a lot of times we're used to thinking of prototypes as like a physical object that you can interact with, but truthfully at this stage of the game, pictures are where it's at. You're going to want to show a flow chart or a picture of some kind to get people to understand what your solution looks like. We can talk about it in theory, but until we actually see what it's going to look like, it's hard to give feedback. So what I have in this document is a whole bunch of random examples of different prototypes depending on what the problem and solution was. Okay, some of them from the last year, some of them are ones that we've created over time. So here's one that said the problem was fast fashion can lead to an increase in clothes waste, da 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 da. Well, their solution then was to provide community education classes for people to learn how to upcycle their clothing. So learn skills on how to sew themselves, to take the clothes they have that they don't wear, take other donated clothing, bring them together and upcycle. So what they have down here are potential advertisements to get people to sign up. So when they were doing an interview, they could pitch their idea, they could pitch their solution, and they could ask people, would these advertisements get you to sign up? What are our advertisements missing? What else could we include? Do they motivate you to potentially become part or take the classes, so that they can say whether their solution actually will solve the problem, right? If the solution is people will go to these classes, they can ask, will these flyers help you get to the classes? And if not, they can ask, well, what might entice you to go to these classes? And so then based on that feedback, they can modify their solution slightly. Here's another one that was generated by chemistry teachers. So the problem is paper towels are expensive and harmful. So the solution is to take old things that are gotten rid of, clean them, and then redistribute them to people's houses so that they can use those as paper towels as instead. So you can see like taking donations, cut them up, and then give them to the people. I have lots of questions, obviously, about this prototype, like how are they going to get the things to the people, and do they care, and would this be a thing? But minimal viable solution, so they can ask the people, like, would this be something you could use? How can we make it better? What questions do you have? All that kind of stuff. So this is like an actual physical product or prototype they could make, but through the schematic, they can get ideas from people. Here's another one. Current school schedule doesn't meet students' needs. And so their prototype is using Maslow's hierarchy of needs. They created a prototype focused on house-based classes that can allow interdisciplinary study and extended one-on-one time with teachers. So here they have a model of what the schedule would look like, and then they can ask people, what do you think about this model? What are the pros? What are the cons? What aren't we thinking of? Get questions answered. Like, hey, they don't have lunch on here. Mildly important, right? But a minimal viable prototype to get feedback. Here's another one. Veterans don't have enough access to mental health care, so their solution was a vehicle that will go to the veterans, so the veterans don't have to motivate themselves to come to us. They have a schematic of what a potential mental health service vehicle could look like. And again, they can ask people, what do you think of this? What are we missing? What have we not thought of? Do you think the solution would work? What other potential solutions are there? And so what I like about this document I created for you is you get a wide variety of potential ideas of what a prototype could look like, right? A prototype could look like a flyer to advertise something, if that's how you're hoping to reach your customers and shift towards the solution for your problem. It could be a schematic of like what your next steps are and how you'll go about doing the things. It can be a schedule and just a mock-up or like a point-by-point plan of how you're going to shift the understanding of something, or like a written description. Or it can be an actual like diagram of a space that you're going to modify in some way. So as of right now, I'd love you to try to make a prototype in your group of the minimal viable solution of what it would look like, so that when you say to people, our solution is this, you can show them what that means. Until we actually see what it means, it's really hard to understand what you're talking about. So next up, talk to your group. try to create some kind of prototype similar to this. What you'd upload to the Innovator app then is one of these pages. So the problem at the top, your solution prototype, the picture, upload that onto the prototype location in the Innovator app, and you'd be done with that part. Go ahead and take care of making that prototype, and have a nice night.